Hello, my lovelies. It is Friday, about midday, and look at this. It has actually stopped raining, ish. So, what I've done, as I suggested in the last video that you will have seen, I think, is I have called the AA. I have summoned the AA. I ranted about how much they cost and their little trick of upgrading you after a year. And I am determined to get my money's worth out of them. Bless them. The patrolmen, they're all jolly nice. All the ones I've encountered have been anyway. Never seen a bad one. So I'm going to take the opportunity to, well, as I mentioned, Sir Arnold here has got a headlamp bulb that has gone, and I almost certainly couldn't possibly do it. It's not that I'm inept, as I mentioned, although I am, of course, remarkably inept, but there usually just isn't enough room to get my big shovel hands in there. So I've summoned the AA, and I'm going to claim that I've got the problem with the fog lights, I've got the problem with the rear number plate lights. Let's go outside. We might lose sound a bit because the main road is going to be busy. But you'll remember that the fog lights were on all the time. I pulled the fuse, that didn't stop, that stopped the fog lights being on, but it didn't stop the battery from draining. And then Craig pulled the relay because the relay was clicking you. So I'll get them to have a look at that and see if we can find out if it's just a relay problem. I've also got an issue with the rear number plate lights, which are a pain in the bum. It's always been an issue, and myself and Mustard have had a look at them, and they just periodically come on and go off, and they're almost never both working at the same time. Getting one to work is the best that you can hope for, but of course that throws up, it's got the canvas system, so that throws up a warning on the dash, which is a nuisance. So it's a bit windy, and I tell you what, it's looking a bit dark over there, and I don't think we've seen the last of the rain. This might be a temporary respite, so let's nip back inside for a second. Oh, dearie me. So yeah, I've got the AA coming out. I'm going to claim that all of the lights exploded at the same sort of time, but what I'm really doing is just getting them out here to change a headlight bulb, because I'm crap and because I pay them 45 quid a month. So there we are. That's what's happening so far today, and I will keep you updated. Unusually for me, I don't know what I'm going to have for lunch. That's normally decided at least the day before. But at the moment, I'm thinking possibly beans on toast with that nice bread that I got from Chatsworth on Monday, which is in the freezer, by the way. I always put my bread in the freezer because I'm a single guy living on my own, and if I didn't put it in the freezer, it would go off. So there you go. So possibly beans on toast, possibly soup. I'll keep you updated. Well, that was a nice 4 minutes of content I managed to get there. They'll never realise that I'm just blathering away because I can't be asked to go out and do a proper video. I'll totally get away with this.
YouTube channel's not any good, but he's a nice guy. I'm sorry, Mr. Boaty.
You make YouTube videos with...
Oh, you had me at YouTube videos. Let's go, Boaty.
Well, I've got you here. What do you think about the what I'm now terming the mustard manoeuvre, where I actually reverse the car in? I think it actually looks better. I quite like seeing the front of Brian Johnston. He he looks quite sharkish and purposeful, doesn't he? Whereas the Honourable Shison looks kind of oh, what does he... Oh, God, I called him he. I keep forgetting he's non-binary. They. I keep forgetting that they are non-binary. But the Honourable Shison, from the front, looks like a kind of Sunday school mistress. Don't know why I think that. Oh, and if you want to know how much it's been raining here, let's take a look at Bob, the inexpertly constructed palace of motory delight. And on top of Bob is a bucket. This bucket was empty when it went on top of Bob yesterday at about 4 o'clock. Check it out now. That is a completely full, large bucket, and that has happened since 4 o'clock yesterday. The rain here has been nothing short of bleeding biblical. Okay, so I'm sitting inside Sir Arnold, just kind of preparing him for the AA, because opening the bonnet is not a simple and straightforward operation on this particular car. It should be, of course, but it isn't. Now, Rover 75 bonnet opening doings are notoriously tricky, but this one is worse than most. So let me show you down here. Here is the opening technique. Bloody hell. Hold on, this is a two-hand job. I'll put you there. I know you can't see anything, but oh, God above. I think that was it. Sorry, I didn't mean to turn you off there. Press the wrong button. Listen to the vibration. Right? And then, if I turn this heated rear window on, listen. Isn't that weird? Must be something to do with the electrical drain. As you can see, I am in park. I can't rest you on the steering wheel, you vibrate. Hold on, let's see if I can zoom in. Aha! As you can see, I am in park. Check this out. Sports park! Sports reverse. The Rover 75, a car so dynamic it has a sports mode for when it's standing still. Polo Matos has just subscribed to this very channel. Welcome, welcome, and thank you for coming along. I need to get the AA man to check out this squeak as well. Make sure it's not something terminal. Doesn't sound great, does it? Oh well. Well, I've got about half an hour until the AA turn up, so I think I'd better edit yesterday's video. An update for you. I have partially done the washing up. The laundry is finished and somebody needs to take it out. And I live alone, so I'm guessing that somebody will be me. And the AA man seems very nice indeed, and he's only about 5 minutes away. So we will we'll shed some light on the on Sir Arnold Robinson's lighting issues. See what I did there, my loves? My God, this channel is good value for money. Oh, hello, who's pinging me? Oh, it's Captain Mustard. Right, catch you in a bit. That looks fun. Well, that was quick and easy, and kind of half annoying. The headlamp bulb, I don't feel too weedy for calling the AA out for the headlamp bulb, because to do the near side, you actually had to get in through the inner arch, and while you had the inner liner off, I managed to, can I show you? I managed to push out that knocked in wing, so that was well worth doing. So the headlamp bulb is done, but annoyingly, the bloody fog light, do you remember all the grief I had with the fog lights? Do you remember that the battery was draining for week after week, and I bought a new battery that turns out I didn't bloody need, and it was the fog lamps that were coming on at weird times, just staying on. And I pulled the fuse out, and that didn't solve it. And then eventually, Wendy Craig pulled the relay. So put the fuse and the relay back in, and the bloody things are working as they should. And the rear number plate lamps, which never work, at best we get one working. The pissing things were both working fine, weren't they? So now, have a guess how much, because I had to pay for the headlamp bulb. Guess how much that was? £9.99 for a sodding headlamp bulb that could have picked up in pound stretchers or whatever they're called these days for a couple of quid. But hey ho, I didn't have to drive down into town. I didn't have to get my hands dirty. In fact, I barely had to leave the comfort of my own cottage. So I think we'll call that a result. This was Captain Mustard's take on it. So it's now just coming up to 1 p.m. I need to finish off the washing up, I need to take the laundry out, and I need to edit last night's video. So that's what I'll do. Okay, well, it's been about 3/4 of an hour and the fog lights have stayed off. So has the problem magically fixed itself by having the relay and fuse pulled for however long it's been, a couple of months? Or is it just going to reappear whenever we least expect it? I don't know, but the reality of the situation is that the headlights on this are so poor, not helped by the fact that Mustard cleaned and polished that one for me. Couldn't be asked to do that one. So yeah, and the headlights are really poor. So having the front fogs on little country lanes in the pitch black are jolly useful. So I'm inclined, sorry about the noise, I'm inclined to leave things as they are and keep them going until such time as they start playing up again and draining the battery. So I'll use them tonight and we will see what happens. And when I've had a spot of lunch, I need to give them a quick wash. He's a bit of a mucky pup, is Sir Arnold. You're a mucky pup, sir. Just rendering last night's video. Why is this light come on? I don't want it to come on. This posh new phone. I still haven't decided what to have for lunch. And it is 1:30, and I don't know what I'm having for lunch. This is unheard of, my loves. I've done the washing up though. I'm a good boy. Oh, and thank you to everyone who tuned in for last night's live stream and indeed for all of the other live streams. If you didn't know, I'm live streaming from 11 p.m. till late every Monday and Thursday night, and I'm really enjoying it. Looks like it's decision made. I'm loving this. Look. Both working. Can't remember when that last happened. Don't suppose it'll last long. And no naughty fog lights on when there shouldn't be. I won't get used to it. Well, my lovelies, you joined me on my journey home from work. Not too late tonight, which is rather nice. And it's been one of those evenings of little victories and little pleasures. Do you know what I mean? Just those little things that are nice enough on their own, but when you get a couple rolled into one, then it just tilts a day from average into above average. Nothing massive. Unexpectedly, well, I'm sure it wasn't unexpected to them, but it was to me. Sainsbury's had one of their regular 25% off 6 bottles or more, and that coincided with a rather decent little Rioja Blanco that they do, being reduced from £8 to £6.50, and then obviously with 6 of those, another 25% off. So it's a nice chance to get a slight upgrade of wine for the price of the sort of bog basic everyday quaffing juice. So that was good. And Sir Arnold's lights have been, and I'm touching wood here on my nice steering wheel, I do like a half wooden steering wheel, don't you? Lovely thing. I would love to have one on the Tourer and all the others actually. Although it wouldn't suit all of the others, would it? But it would be jolly nice on the Tourer at least, and possibly on no, not on Shison, no. Oops, there we go. Yeah, so the lights have behaved, as far as I can see, or at least the expected issues. The rear number plates, which just don't work, have worked all night, both of them, which is unheard of. And the front fog lights appear to be behaving themselves and not coming on when they're not supposed to. So that's jolly good. I can only imagine it's a temporary lifting of whatever the faults are. I can't imagine that they've been magically fixed by the appearance of an AA man, a new headlamp bulb and the same relay and fuse being put back in. But they're working for the moment, and we must take that as a jolly good thing. He was temperamental in one sense, though. I suddenly got the the bulb out warning, and after a careful, I naturally assumed it was going to be the usual suspect, the number plate bulbs, but no, it turned out to be the near side brake light. But that seems to have disappeared now. Speed camera. That seems to have disappeared now, so I presume that it's working again, so that's good too. And then there was also a food-based triumph. Ram made my favourite curry, the one that I can't make because he won't tell me what's in it that I don't know about. I know the generic version, but this is some special version of his or of his family's or of his villages, and the bugger won't tell me what I need to know in order to make it. There's obviously some secret ingredient or ingredients or some blend of which I'm not aware. It's absolutely fabulous. Now, he tells me that one day I will be rich and famous, and so he will not tell me how to make it, because when I'm rich and famous, he wants me to employ him as my personal chef, and he will make it every day, because I would quite happily eat it every day. The irony of that is that it would never happen, because Ram, like all of the other bosses, is a multi-millionaire, and they just have an amazing work ethic. But by the time they hit sort of early 50s, mid 50s, then they all have plans to just retire and take it easy. Whether they will or not, I don't know. They still work like bloody slaves, but they are very, very rich. So no matter how rich and successful I got, which, let's face it, is fairly unlikely, it's unlikely that that will happen to me again, because I'm almost dead. I really am very old. But the point is that I copped for double portions of this wonderful curry. I've got 2 big dubbers down there in the footwell, and I'm very excited and happy about that. So tonight I will both eat and drink very well indeed. I actually enjoy driving at this time of night. There are few pleasures that match driving at night in a nice car with radio full. I love that. And this is my favourite bit of coming home when I come home this way. You drive through the bits of town and the lights and the street lights, and depending on which way you come, possibly the pubs, and there'll be people and there'll be homes and all of the signs of civilization and, you know, a busy town, especially on a Friday night. And then within a short space of time and distance, you head here up the hill, and the street lights finish, and suddenly you're heading up the hill into absolute darkness. There's no light in the sky, there's no light around you, there's no light from houses or whatnot. Oh, there is light from my fuel gauge though, that's just come on. And you know, you're heading home to your little refuge, and all of your stresses just melt away, and you think about getting your slippers on and pouring a glass of wine and getting some supper on the stove, and it's rather lovely. And then as you round this corner, you see the little welcoming lights of my cottage and the next door cottage, and you know that you're home and safe. I love that feeling. Okay, my loves, thank you for your company as always. Have a fabulous Saturday night if you're watching this as soon as it comes out, and have a great Sunday, and I look forward to catching you next time. There we are. Good night, loves. And the street lights go. And the street lights disappear. Fucking hell.